Speaking of things people didn't want to see and turning the page, on a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine moaning out as one last song. You can think about the woman or the girl you saw the night before on television and how many other people saw them also. What were the ratings for this program?
This week's episode, AEW Dynamite, February 15th, 2023, 824,000 viewers was the average.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's down 70 from last week, which was down almost 100 from the week before, right? Did the Big Bang lead him in this week?
I believe so, but I think the problem
Who let him out?
The problem, too, is if you watch this show and you see the Jerry Jarrett tribute, and then Jeff comes out and you see what that match is, and it's not going to be any kind of tribute match or anything. Not that there's a big audience for that, but the tone that it immediately set, and then during that match, they put up a graphic on the bottom of the screen showing the rest of the card for the night. If you caught that, I don't think you were staying around for the rest of the night. Segment one. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, let's examine those quarters then. What was going on?
Segment 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. This is put together by Brandon Thurston, WrestleNomics. Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt versus Billy Gunn, Orange Cassidy, and The Acclaimed, as well as the post-match. 938,000 viewers.
Oh, that's the first time they haven't started with 1 million in I don't know how long.
It's been a while, yeah.
And it's never a good story from here, so if they're starting at that point, I'm wondering where they finished. Keep going.
Segment 2, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. The Bryan Danielson backstage promo, as well as the Texas Tornado match with the Blackpool Combat Club and Roosh and Preston Vance. 829,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ! After the first 15 minutes, they lost 109,000 people.
Why would you tune in? Why would you stay watching? Orange Cassidy, The Acclaim being used by this, Sanjay and the Giant. I don't think a lot of people want to see Jeff, especially the way he's going to be used in this situation. You got to do something different. Why would you stay? But the 829 segment 2. Segment 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The final 6 minutes of the Texas Tornado tag match, or Texas Tornado match, as well as Adam Page and his backstage angle with the Butcher of the Blade, Kip Sabian, and the Dark Order, the Wardlow backstage interview, and the start of Mark Briscoe versus Josh Woods, including picture-in-picture. 901,000 viewers.
Wow, so that's, again, now they're back up 72,000. Do you think a bunch of those people just said, fuck it, we'll come back in 15 minutes to see Mark Briscoe?
I think a lot of the things that happened in segment 1, and maybe even into segment 2, caused people to say, I'm going to hang out until 9 o'clock, but I'm going to walk away for a while and come back. And that's what happened. Segment 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m., the final 5 minutes of Briscoe versus Woods, the Adam Cole backstage promo, and MJF's entrance with picture-in-picture, and the live promo, 868,000 viewers.
So they're back down 33,000, but the MJF promo at the top of the hour, because it went from 4 minutes till about 10 minutes after, did they gain anybody back for that? Because that, as we said, was the high point of the energy level of the evening.
Segment 5, 9 to 9:15 p.m. MJF's confrontation with Christopher Daniels, the Guns backstage promo, and Brian Cage versus Jack Perry with picture-in-picture. 854,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ, lost 14,000 more. Okay.
9:15 to 9:30 p.m., segment 6 here. The last 5 minutes of Brian Cage versus Jungle Boy. The post-match with Christian Cage, saving his fellow Cage brother, Brian Cage. The Acclaim's backstage promo. I just realized they both have the last name Cage. The Acclaim's backstage promo.
Cages and pages in this company. Now you see why Vince McMahon got pissy about names, but go ahead.
As well as the backstage promo with the Elite and Top Flight and AR Fox. And the beginning of Adam Page versus Kip Sabian with picture-in-picture. 763,000 viewers.
Oh, Jesus. That's 80s. 91,000 more have hit the road. And did I say, was that the girls segment? Or is that the one I said that about?
You wondered what would happen there. Yeah, that is true.
All right.
Segment 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The final 3 minutes of Page versus Sabian. The Dark Order John Moxley confrontation. The Jericho Appreciation Society promo. 726,000 viewers.
Jesus. And another 37,000. So we are now down 212,000 from the start of the program, and we started with less than 1 million to begin with.
And finally, segment 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m.
Oh, boy.
The Firm's backstage promo and Ruby Soho versus Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. 710,000 viewers.
They almost got below 700. So now this is the base audience. Was there like the Super Bowl? Was that on opposite on Wednesday night?
No.
Did they land on the moon this week? Anything like that?
You know, no kidding involved right now. There's a lot of people, and I think a lot of them knew better, that built up Tony Khan's head into thinking he could book. And there's a lot of people that focused on some of the pay-per-view successes, and you can't take those away, and said that that number and that gate, or whatever it may be, somehow means the booking is okay. There are people there in that company who like Tony Khan a lot, who, when they talk to people outside the company, will let you know what they think about the booking and the creative, despite the fact that they like Tony Khan a lot. I don't know if anyone's saying it to him, but despite his love of professional wrestling, Tony Khan is not good at writing a wrestling TV show or traditional booking. I think he does have talent as a promoter, putting matches together for a pay-per-view and getting people to want to see that. But as we're seeing here, they're talking me out of matches for the pay-per-view, as opposed to getting me to want to see them. They're focusing their TV on so many people, and so many people that don't matter. Brian Cage is going to drive off viewers. You didn't know that already? You didn't know putting the women's match in the main event was going to hemorrhage viewers? You didn't know that the Elite and the Jericho clowns weren't going to hold any viewers? You didn't know that if you started your show with that 8-man tag match with Orange Cassidy in 2023, you weren't going to drive off viewers? You didn't know that? Because any competent wrestling mind or pseudo-wrestling mind who wrote that shit down on paper would see that. It was obvious to me. And the problem is when everyone says AEW needs to fix this, they need to fix this, they can make little repairs here and there. You could change the chairs on the Titanic. But the problem is who's writing the TV. And this project is Tony Khan's project. It's his love. It's what he really wants to do. Quite frankly, it's what he thinks he's good at. And I'm not trying to be funny or make fun of him or put him down. He's not good at it. And more people who know better, who have been afraid to say anything, need to say something. Because it's not just, oh, he needs to fix the Elite, or oh, he doesn't have CM Punk, or oh, this or that. No, it's everything. He shouldn't be writing the TV. It's not one of his talents.
You said so much that I wish I had said right there. The only thing I'm going to add is you talked about, no, seriously. You talked about the pay-per-view successes. My bone of contention with this thing from day one is with this kind of television exposure and that kind of money, Imagine how good they could be doing now if this shit had made sense from the start. And part of whether you want to be a good promoter or a good booker or whatever, part of it is identifying good talent and using it to accentuate it instead of be a anchor around its neck. And Tony's done the opposite. When guys do get over with his fans, it's generally through no doing of his. They pick out the people they like the best because the other shit confuses them. And then he drops the ball on those people. But the people that are not over, that don't keep viewers, that don't get them mainstream attention of any repute, he'll push them down your fucking throat because those are his friends, because he likes them, because they're nice to him, and they tell him that he's doing such a good job.
And again, Tony has been disserved because there are wrestlers he's given a lot of money to that he really likes that haven't helped him, that have helped themselves in every single way, every time. The promotion never gets better. Things only keep getting worse. And, when this thing with Ariel Helwani happened the other day, or yesterday, Scott Cornish, the wrestling humorist, had a great line. Tony has too much free time on his hands. Give him another TV show to book. Because it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Jim, did you see the lineup for next week's Dynamite?
No, I didn't. But while we close this segment out, run that one by me one more time.
AEW Dynamite, I saw this on Twitter, on their official Twitter, this Wednesday, 8 p.m., 7 Central, TBS.
Certainly. He's good. This is going to be an all-star extravaganza to try to get the bad taste out of people's mouth from last week. So he's going to have all hands on deck, some intriguing matchups with his best performers, big name stars, right?
This is Mid-South late 83. Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno in the main event.
Oh, what?
All-Atlantic title match. Orange Cassidy defends against Wheeler Yuta. We have a tag team battle royal. We haven't seen enough of those in AEW. The Acclaimed go up against Big Bill and Lee Moriarty.
What?
Saraya versus Sky Blue.
Oh, boy. I have a feeling Sky Blue is going to be dark green.
We have an announcement from AEW CEO and GM Tony Khan. We hear from Bryan Danielson, and Tony Schiavone will interview Christian Cage. Now, things could change.
Yeah, and by the way, I agree now that they're giving the Acclaimed a win in a tag team situation. Of course, it could be a couple of experienced veterans that could really have a slick match and bump for them and put it together and lead them through it to where they look better than they might be. Or you can find two guys who are even greener and one of them is too big to fucking move around and you can have a stinky match and they'll win that and look worse. But it's a close choice. It could go either way.
Did you see the Mike Tyson thing yesterday?
Where Tyson said, yeah, I'd like to, I'd work for WWE even though they pay me less money, but I go to AEW because he pays me more money. What the
Like, that's the thing. I feel bad for Tony because Tony's become a laughing stock amongst a lot of people, and he's doing it to himself. And he just doesn't seem to have a desire to change things. It's just he surrounds himself with the same people, does the same thing. It's an echo chamber. He thinks that he's doing a good job. He thinks he's doing a good job. And can you imagine whether you're Kenny Omega or CM Punk or Jay White or whoever's going to be a free agent coming forward? A conversation with Tony Khan versus a conversation with Nick Khan or Triple H. If you're serious about your career, you're going to have to really think about what you're going to want to do. Because, quite frankly, there's a lot of guys who have had those conversations, and they come away impressed with Nick Khan.
Yeah, and I've heard some people talk about their impressions of Tony, too. Impressed is still a word. Tony makes an impression on them with his activities and behavior.